Left is delegate, right is thread, and in between I'm sitting with the task. So if I go for calling any function delegate, it gives a feel of asynchronous, not actual asynchronous, because somehow somewhere min is blocked. So, but in other way around, delegate has several uses, like you can go for anonymous, you can go for lambda, and the most important part of delegate is it helps you for event creation, and we can use event creation in majorly in a publisher subscriber principle. It's called observer pattern, so they call back you. So mostly your APIs calls are callback based. Your Axios in React, AJAX call. So all are basically callback based. As they promise to return back you, so they call back. They call back you. You write your endpoint, and they execute your endpoint, and they return a response to you, or as a true or false, as a callback you. You request your endpoint, you enter your endpoint, they execute your function at the server side, and they return back to you as a callback. Beautiful. So no one can take the place of callback in C# except delegate, because we pass the method parameter as a delegate, and we enter the URL, and they execute the URL at his own end in a server memory, and return back the data to me. So I can pass to parameter one the URL, or they return the data to me as an exception, as a true or false. So asynchronous behavior is not good for delegate, or not good by delegate, but callback is amazing feature of delegate. Event creation, you can't do without delegate. Lambda, anonymous, expression trees. So nobody can have the substitute for this topic. Special. But asynchronous behavior, there is no point to go for using delegate by begin invoke or end invoke, because somehow somewhere internally they block the main thread. So then thread comes, my right is thread. The best part of thread is they release your main, they make your main free. So it gives ultimate asynchronous call. But if any function like this function returns integer or double, obviously once you go for project level, business logic layer, data access layer, controller. So controller call the business logic call the data access layer. And you're expecting some value from the controller, and controller is calling some function. So overall, you want to go for returning a data as a person, as employee details. So then it's very tough for thread level to catch a data comes by the function. So thread is basically handling those methods efficiently better, which returns as a void. The reason is, whenever you go for creating a new thread, it makes a background thread. It makes a background thread. So only one solution comes in a picture. If you want to go for service-side programming, server-side programming, and you want to go for boost the performance of the server, boost the performance of the application. So best result is, so Web API optimization. So if you want to optimize your Web API or any Web API with a core Web API and Web API, the ultimate person has given the remarkable points. He is a solution architect. So he has said, when you go for making a service, and if any function, returns the data, you always go for apply their TPL. It's called task parallel library. So if you don't go for, so using asynchronous behavior, it increases the number of concurrent users. Otherwise, if you don't make a function as a task-based, understand the server memory and performance is given by the server to user. And always go for caching, always go for your ORM based is called a Dapper. Don't ever try to go for intuitive framework. So hand coded is better. So overall, there are several ways you can go for boost up the performance of the service side. It's called health monitoring. So I didn't get a satisfactory answer if I go for making any. Suppose this is the function written in controller. Take an example. This is the function written in controller, and you want to go for calling this function by postman, by the verbs, or by the angler. So look at this function. It's good, but this function never returns the value to you. So why do we go for calling any function that doesn't return any value? I want to pass parameter called ID. I want to get employee details. The function has to return some value. So if I go for applying the thread at server side, so how thread can handle those method which returns the value? Thread is not by default capable to return to handle those value, those function returns a value. So you have to go for some flags and all, some flag, some callback feature. Then you are supposed to call the function by the thread and which returns the value. But thread does not handle efficiently a function returns a value by default, by default. And if you go for delegate, they blocks your main. So if function takes 4 seconds and you're calling other function by the main, so there is a context switching between main thread and your thread. So delegate works under context switching manner, and thread efficiently by default not handle any method which returns a value. And what is left? Which option is left? Open the control in Web API, make any function, and pass parameter to function called ID, and get a list of enumerable or person type by this function. Or you can go for writing a threads for this function for handling concurrent users. So thread is basically not able to handle efficiently by default better if any function returns a value. And if I go for doing this same task by delegate, at least this is better. We can have a asynchronous behavior, but there is a context switching. It's called round robin fashion. Then what is left? Only task is left, task. But the problem with the task is if you go for a series of C# version 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, there was no task involved. The C# 4.0 or 3.5 onward, the task comes into picture, and 4.0, 4.5. In every version of your C#, they added some new features about task, about task. So this is the function. And I want to call this function by the task. Because this function is long running, take an example. So I can give this work to delegate. I can give this work to thread. But in other way around, where the thread is not able to handle a function efficiently better by default, if function returns a value. Okay, by the callback feature or by some flag, we can able to return a value and thread can manage those values. But the problem with the delegate and thread is they use operating system thread. The problem is they basically use the operating system thread. And operating system threads are basically unmanaged for the user level or the programmer level. So sitting in C#, I want to use a thread. I want to use a delegate. So those basically threads are provided by operating system to your CLR. Okay. Unmanaged. Garbage collection, unmanaged. So writing a thread sitting in C# is unmanaged. Writing a delegate and getting a new thread by begin invoke is unmanaged thread. Okay. And if I use your task then, so if you use task always uses managed thread because you have got thread pool and threads are available in thread pool, and your task class is getting a thread from thread pool. Okay. The sitting in C#, and if I go for using delegate and delegate a function called begin invoke, it gives me new thread. But gentlemen, that new thread is unmanaged. Refer MSDN. Refer unmanaged. Refer. So delegate never gives you the managed thread. Can you handle the snake directly without any support of any person? Every snake is unmanaged, right? So threads are unmanaged in context of C# because you are getting the operating system thread. So if you use delegate or if you use a thread, a sitting in C# for parallel execution or a synchronous operation, so once the function has been called by the thread, so who will manage this thread? There's a programmer? No, operating system. Operating system will handle that thread. It means programmer is only meant for calling the thread, not handling the thread, because it's a unmanaged thread because it is being managed by the operating system. And if I, Sandeep sir, if I go for using a thread by task, then wonderful. If you use a thread by task, then you return your thread to thread pool, not to the operating system. Okay. So thread pool is in between the user, the programmer, the end user, and operating system threads. Okay. So Cellar will not communicate to operating system for getting a new thread for you. Rather than Cellar will communicate to thread pool for getting a new thread. And the worst part is when you write a delegate or when you write a thread, whether it is a managed or forget unmanaged this time. Go for next situation, next scenario. So when you go for writing a thread, okay, I got your point, Sandeep, it's unmanaged. It is being handled by the operating system. You only go for calling your functions. The rest is you're basically involving the operating system kernel features and all to manage the thread. But you are occupying the thread, you should manage. Oh, I can't. So in other way around, if you think, if I write a thread, space t equal to new thread, and I assign the function reference to the thread object. If you call the function by thread, function has been called, and thread will be released. After few seconds, again you want to go for calling a other function by the thread, what you will do? Again, you have to create a new thread. Oh my God. It means for every start, you want magnet. For every start, you want magnet because if there is a magnet, there is a thread. Every current is a part of your magnet. So if you hit your kick, you accelerating your magnet, and magnet generates a thread. Next time, again, you need to have a magnet. So I mean to say, what I'm trying to convince, when you write a thread, so you go and call your function, but once the function has been executed successfully, what you will do with this thread? You will return back to operating system, or operating system will create that thread periodically or after some time or instantly. It depends. No. Do one thing. Take a function, take a thread, execute your function by the thread, and honestly, gently, as a manner, return the thread to thread pool. So that next request comes, you can execute the same function or other function by the same thread, which you have kept in a thread pool. Like as a marker, I do use the marker, suppose for a board, for writing something. And once we finish the walk, what should I do? Shall I destroy this marker? I can keep this marker for the next request. Why I purchase the next time for the same marker? I can keep my marker in a pool memory. Okay, because threads are really expensive. If you want to, again creating a new thread, and again you're creating a new thread because you go and call your function. Function has been called, returning a thread to operating system. And operating system destroy the thread instantly, or he keeps a thread for a long time or short time. It is unpredictable to me. It's better You keep your thread in your thread pool. So understand the advantage. But a problem comes, when you go for giving an interview, and if he asks you, "Yes, Sandeep, this is the function. I want to call this function by the task." Intention is clear. Why I'm calling this function by the task? Because I'm getting two benefits first of all. If I go for calling any function by the task, I'm getting two major benefit. The first benefit is, the first benefit is getting a new thread by task from the thread pool, not I'm involving the operating system. It's a managed. And second benefit is once the function gets over, as the execution part gets over, I'm returning gently my thread to the thread pool. Okay. Okay. And third benefit is, the most important benefit is, if you use TPL, Task Parallel Library, you are basically involving multiple processor in your programs. You're involving multiple processor in your program. And if you don't involve multiple processor in your program, then again you go for context switching. Again you go for context switching. So to prevent from context switching, we should involve multiple processor, multiple threads from multiple processor. Otherwise, multiple threads from single processor. Oh my God. Multiple threads from single processor. It always gives you context switching. So whenever you write a task, wait for next class, I will show you how many I'm using basically this time i7 processor. I will show you next session, how many processors are running in my application, running for my application, and who is idle. So overall, the purpose of using a TPL called Task Parallel Library, I want to take a maximum, I want to utilize maximum processor in my program. I want to utilize maximum processor in my program to get a best throughput. Best throughput is called concurrent. So concurrency is bad, concurrent is good. What is concurrent? Number of subsequent requests comes at any particular time, at any particular point of time, sorry. Number of concurrent users arrive at any server at any particular time or at any point of time. Okay, then you can be concurrent. Okay. The problem comes, he said, "Sandeep, I'm giving you one function. Come in Zoom or Skype and now run this function by task." The problem was I never gone with the versioning of C# from 3.5 to 4.0 to 4.5 to 5.0. In every version, they have added new feature in task or for task. And question was, how many ways you can go for executing this function by task? An option was there 3, 5, 9, 7, 2, none of the above. I never thought ki yaar, this kind of question comes. And what should I do? 3, number of ways to call the function by task. 3, 5, 7, 9, 2. My God. Shall I skip this question and go for as a casino? Tukka. Because if your task is good, TPL is good, then you are really good programmer, as a good architect in the Web API, core Web API. I had my training in last year, 2019 October. And the person who has given me a responsibility for 2 months for the core Web API training, and he asked me approx 90 minutes about task only. So the prerequisite of learning Your core web API is task. And I prepared the whole September month last year, whole September, 30 days continuous TPL, 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 morning TPL, evening TPL. Whenever I was free, I always go for TPL. I referred every statement written by MSDN. Oh my God. Then I learned there's several ways, you can go for executing your function by the task. Can you believe? Go for it. Best of luck. So now, because we have to move with the version, console dot write line, and give any, suppose I'm giving a message called Harish Sharma. So I don't want to use, basically, I don't want to occupy the operating system thread, place. I don't want to, suppose there is a, I don't want to go for involving operating system thread. Second, if I go for executing my function by the thread, I'm returning my thread to operating system or returning to thread pool. That's most important. So now task, but we never think for, MSDN. We just go to any site or YouTube, disgusting. If you refer for any topic by YouTube, you're going to crush your life, crush your career, because they only gives you output, no left, no right, what was the origin, nothing. Just for your sell your knowledge. So if you want to sell your knowledge, you go for YouTube. You want to become intellectual, don't go for YouTube, you always go for MSDN. The moment if you write a task, I should know this is in which version, because in every version, they have added some new flavor for the task. Okay, okay, okay. Suppose, take one example. I said I'm having a query, set of query, and my query takes, suppose, some amount of time to perform the task. And I'm using a ADO.NET. Take an example. I don't know entity framework. I don't know the Dapper ORM product. I know only ADO.NET. Take an example. And if any function takes a long time to perform the task as a batch update or as a updating a lakh of records, million of records, what you will do? What you will do by ADO.NET only. Don't guide me, Sandeep, you go for entity framework, they suppose TPL, because when ADO.NET was written, there was no TPL. And I want to fire, a query, and that query basically update 3 lakh records in a database table. It takes time. How you can solve this problem by ADO.NET. So when you go for series of ADO.NET 1.0, class was SQL command. Everyone knows SQL command. And the function was there, execute reader, and write your query or give your query to procedure, whatever. And you go for calling the function called execute reader. So the query is expensive because it takes time to perform the work. Then in ADO.NET 2.0, they were added the asynchronous behavior in ADO.NET by delegate. My God. So I don't want to open, please. If you want to go, you can have. Or you can write the name. I hope so. I'm sitting in core console, system.data. So we have to include in MS space because this is the best part of core web API. I mean, .NET Core console. It don't gives, .NET add package system.data .SQL client. Now come back. So you include using a system.data. Thank you, I'm getting. And the SQL client. Thank you. And here we have and I suggested, no, sir, please don't give me a suggestion for changing my data access layer to entity or to Dapper, sorry. Can you solve my problem? The SQL command is space cmd is equal to new or SQL command. Forget the query and all, come on. And command dot. Look at here. Look at, surprisingly, look at. Execute. No. Dot begin execute reader. Oh my God. Begin execute non-query. Okay, if you want to go for batch update, you go for begin execute non-query. And suddenly you want to go for fetching a record, bulk of records, then begin execute reader. Okay. So if your query is, if query takes long, if a query takes an amount of time to perform the task, you go for delegate asynchronous behavior in Edu.NET by delegation model. Okay, I got your point. But it's a managed thread, keep in mind. It's a managed thread. So I'm trying to convince you the version of Edu.NET 1.0 and 2.0. Similarly, if you don't know what was added in C# 1.0 to current 8.0, how you can be better technical architect, tell me. You should know what was added in your version. You know when you have taken your jeans, you know. When you have taken your flat, I know. When you have taken your car, I know. So versioning is meant for those items. Why not for your C# language versioning? So what was in 4.0? What was in 4.5? What was in 3.5? So when you write a task. So can you believe there are 7 ways? Look at the answer, 3, 5, 7, 9, none of the above. So there are 7 ways, you know, you can go for calling any function asynchronously using a task. 7 ways. So the first impression is you should know the version of C# and what is added in new version. So look at the action. An action is a kind of, you know, a delegate, or you can say delegate or generic delegate. So it can generally call those methods which returns a void. It means the best part of task is I can use action. And if Sandeep sir function returns integer, then we can go for generic task. I can go for integer. I can go for func delegate. Great. I can go with a func delegate. But not if you go for this task with this, you can't use func delegate because a func delegate can only handle those methods which returns a value. And parameter can go up to what you say, a 0 to 16 depends. So I can go. It's a one way. But something can you tell me, you say this is in which feature of C#? You know, what you know in C#? And what you know in C#? Okay, can you call this function by delegate? Delegate, yes, I can call. Okay, good. It's a delegate block. Okay. My task. If you don't have the MSDN and C# version and features, you know, just hold on. You go for delegate type, Sandeep. Don't go for delegate class. Oh, sorry. Look at it. This is how you can have the reference of that method to delegate block. Okay. So I'm encapsulating the function signature and providing to delegate block, and delegate block attached with a task. Okay. It's an objective question. It's an objective question, and it's an objective question. It's an objective question, and they have given the four. They have given some. It's an objective question, and they have given some points. So, my task. The question is, can you do or not? And object dot start, and just go for masses here. There's no use of this masses, but you go console dot write line task practice. I want to go for task, you know. I want to have a list of C# 4.0, 4.5, 5.0, because I know they will not add in every version new topic. I know better mathematics, but they will add new features in existing version. Oh yes. So I wanted to know what was in task 3.5, task 4.0, and task grade 4.5. Now go for run this program. Go to run this program. So don't ever try to say I can't do the A2.NET asynchronous call. I want to go for implementing Web API. Look at this example. This is, so again you come back here. Yes. Here's a Sandeep. You go for implementing DAM A2.NET in Core Web API and apply asynchronous behavior by A2.NET in Core Web API. I will not allow you Dapper or any ORM product in controller or data access layer or repository layer. So I should know in this case, begin execute non-query, begin execute a scalar, begin execute reader, because they are delegate based, you know. No. Run the program. Is a one way to call. So just masses and Harish. Second way, Sandeep. So why I go for calling the method and encapsulating to delegate block? I can go for shorthand notation. Is called anonymous or lambda. Remove it. Remove it. Remove it. Remove it. Second way is there. Yes. Just hold on. So first of all, remove the delegate. Just hold on. Give a space and remove the delegate keyword, delegate block. It's a delegate block. Remove it. Make it anonymous or lambda like this. Arrow operator. Yes. Okay. This is how we can go for calling the function by task. Okay. Good. Run the program. It gives me sharpen, you know, it gives a knowledge. There are several ways we can go for running the, and Sandeep, if the function returns as an integer, then double as a person, then as any model. Generally, a function should return as a model. Wait for next session. Any other way? I just told you 3.5, 4.0, 4.5. There are 7 ways you can go for calling the method. It's up to you which way you wanna get. You wanna go. Or if you don't want to go this way, remove it. Go for new action. New action. It's the third way. New action. Yes. Just hold on. Now, when I'm removing and coming back, previous, look at the first way, you go with a delegate block. Second way, you go for anonymous or lambda operator, 3. Fourth is, second you go anonymous, shorthand notation of delegate block, okay, and next was your lambda, is a more shorter than your anonymous method, and next is look at task, look at what parameter it takes action, okay, so new action, and you go for parameterized constructor, and there you pass the function signature. Okay, I got it. My task.